Youth suicide remains the leading cause of death for those aged 10 through 24. The organization Speak Up, Stand Up, Save a Life is working to encourage awareness of mental health warning signs in young people. And joining us now is Chris Phyllis, the Executive Director of Speak Up, Stand Up, Save a Life. Thanks for joining us. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Give me a better definition of your group, what it does, what it wants to do.
So what we do is we hold a conference once a year for 6th through 12th graders, and we ask every school in the state of Arizona to send a delegate of students. And we want to teach them what the warning signs are of children, their peers who are depressed, maybe anxious, maybe suicidal, to recognize those warning signs and then take it to a trusted adult.
What are those warning signs? The information that you're giving to these kids, what are they looking for?
They're looking for basically changes in behavior, maybe sadness, lots of sleeping, maybe someone's talking more about death or about dark subjects than they have in the past. Maybe their grooming isn't the way it used to be. They've had a serious change in the way their personality is. We're not asking the peers, the other students, to make that determination themselves, but if they see the warning signs, tell an adult, because it's better that you tell and be wrong than not tell and somebody takes some drastic measures.
Just a little sidebar here. Is it different for kids and adults who are experiencing these thoughts and these warning signs?
No, they're actually very, very similar. I think we always hear after a tragedy in school that somebody knew or somebody thought, but nobody said anything. And so we're encouraging students, don't be afraid to tell. Tell a trusted adult.
And telling a trusted adult is a speak up part about this, but how do you get the message across to kids that it's okay to talk to an adult about something? I mean, this is pretty sensitive stuff here. You know, the sullen teenager is almost a cliche these days. How do you do it?
So when you're talking to the kids, they really know the difference most times between, I grew up with him, he's always that way, and a change. And so we're not asking them to diagnose their friends or someone maybe they don't even know, they just see in class, but we're saying, if you have concerns, if you have questions, please don't take that on yourself. Tell a teacher, tell a school administrator, tell an SRO, tell a coach, tell someone, and that's where they can step back after that point.
And but things like bullying and grief and abuse and these sorts of things, again, that's difficult. How do you get a kid to trust an adult?
Well, you don't always. And the goal is to have these small groups of children who come to the conference come up with a plan to spread that word in their schools. So a student is more likely to hear it from another student and think, oh, maybe that's not so bad, as opposed to hearing it from an adult. So we ask the schools to send these small congregations of students, and then those students get together, create a plan for implementing how they're going to spread this into their school to get those students to trust an adult.
And I would imagine sometimes those plans are different for different schools.
Absolutely, and that's why we don't tell them, here's the plan, here's how you do it.
What do you tell them?
We give them the warning signs, and we encourage them and tell them, you can trust an adult. You need to trust an adult. And take that back and try and get an implementation plan together that you can spread to the other students.
But are there tools, are there resources? Is there a pathway to do this that would differ, I guess, with different groups of kids?
So we give general knowledge. What we're not doing is telling them, if you see X, Y, and Z, then the child is definitely depressed and you need to run and do something. The only thing we're asking these children to do is to tell a trusted adult. We don't want them trying to take this on themselves or do their own self-diagnosis.
Right. As far as schools and cities participating, how are we doing out there?
So this was our first year back in person after 3 years due to the pandemic. So we had 31 different school districts attend at the end of January. January 30th was our conference this year, and we had over 1,700 students. So it was a very good turnout. We're hoping to have a bigger turnout next year, and we're also hoping to be able to maybe stream the conference. We didn't have that ability this year, but since we're trying to reach all the school districts in the entire state, we would like to have a streaming element as well.
And what kind of response are you getting? What are you hearing from some of the kids who get the training and get the information?
So we've had a very positive response from the students. they send their implementation plans in through our website, so we actually see what they're doing, because we like to share those as well with other schools maybe who are struggling or with other students. And they were very positive. We do it in an upbeat way. It's
Right.
not meant to just lecture to the kids. It's
Sure.
an upbeat way. And we try to bring in actors and bands and different things so that they're engaged for that time period.
Speak up, stand up, save a life. Chris Phyllis, best of luck to you. Continued success. Thank you so much for sharing the story.
Thank you for having me.
And that is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.